Good afternoon, Venerable. Could you please describe the meditation techniques to effectively perform the four contemplations as referred to in your Dharma talk? What is the correct object of attention, length of time for each category, etc.? Thank you. We're talking about the four contemplations. We should know what the four contemplations are. So we got the four contemplations. The four contemplation is contemplate the body as impure, the first one. Body impure. So we remember it by saying body as impure. Contemplation of sensation as suffering. Second, sensation as suffering. Contemplation of the mind as impermanent, or of the thought as impermanent. That's the third one. The fourth one is contemplation of Dharma or phenomena, all phenomena existing in the world, all Dharma as insubstantial or as egoness, selfness. These are the four contemplations. These four contemplations embraces a lot of teachings about in the Buddha's literature. But your question is how to meditate on it, what techniques we use to meditate on it. But before answering this question, we should go a little backward to see what exactly is meditation. Meditation includes two perspectives. The first perspective is samatha, which is focus. The second perspective is insightful contemplation, which is wisdom. This is what we're talking about, insightful meditation. The four contemplations embraces a lot about Buddhism, especially the Theravada school. The Theravada school deals with the four contemplations, I think, this is my personal opinion, in more detail than the Mahayana vehicle. This contemplation involves basically many canons of the Buddhist teaching. The body as impure, sensation as suffering, thought as impermanent, all phenomena as insubstantial. This is just the key words. Before we really get into it, you asked me techniques in doing it. The techniques is the same, but the contemplations are different. What are the techniques? The techniques is, first of all, don't let your mind wander. Don't let your mind attach to particular circumstances. Free your mind. Put down all your wandering thoughts. Free your mind of all encumbrances. Can you do that? Can we first of all, in other words, before we cultivate our wisdom, can we first of all learn how to clean up all the garbage first, or clean up all your obstructions first? Before you walk the road, you have to remove the hurdles first. How to remove the hurdles? Removing the hurdles is like you learn how to focus first. So before getting to the contemplation, we must learn the samatha, the focus. Why do we have to learn the focus? Because if we're being attacked by all these attachments, by all these encumbrances of wandering thoughts, we can never get to contemplation. So we have to learn how to stay put. In other words, if the professor has to give an analogy on this, the student has to sit down and study first. Talking about how to pass the examinations, how to understand the course, the student has to sit down and listen to the lectures and sit down to study first. If the student can't even sit still, how can he pass the examination? First is learning how to let go first. If you want to have insightful contemplation, every day you attach to fame, reputation, selfishness, ego, depression, jealousy, hatred, greediness, all these mental afflictions surrounding you, you attach to them. You can't let go of them. How can you start to have insightful contemplation? So you first of all must learn how to let go. Letting go first, and then slowly you get into insightful meditation. Insightful meditation, actually you are learning it now. The fact that you're listening to a monk talking about it, or getting on the Google to learn more about it, is actually you're building up all this information leading to the insightful contemplation. But you'll always be affected by all your wandering thoughts. You're being affected how nice you have to do your job. You have 2 girlfriends, which girlfriend you want to divorce and which girlfriends you want to marry. You have a job, and how do you get a better job? Because you are in the verge of being fired, and you like to know how to hang on to the job, and you want to get more money, you want to have relationship, there's so many things in this world that you cling to, that you attach, you can let go. Or you have past experiences that you hate, an abusive childhood, you hate your dad, your alcoholic dad, or you hate your irresponsible mom. You always have that hatred in your past, you can let go. First of all, learn to let go first. How to let go of all this hatred, of all this depression, of all these mental afflictions. Let go of yesterdays. Let go of yesterday's enemies. Those are your enemies. The enemies that nurture in you, that you cultivated for yourself. Let go of them. Learn how to let go the past. Learn how to not worry about the future. And learn how to exist now and be on your guard for putting out all encumbrances and wandering thoughts, so that you're on the right track first. That's the procedure that you should learn. And the Buddha told us to use anapanasati to train our mind to arrive at that stillness, at that calm, at that tranquility. And then, with the tranquility in mind, you're sitting down there, the student sitting down there start to study and start to listen, then he start to roll in the wisdom in his mind. So you must take the procedure first. Right now you are anapanasati, breath in and out, and you have that concentration and you have that letting go. And then you carry on your insightful contemplation. Contemplate on the body as impure would combat your mental affliction of sexual attachment. Because you thought body is beautiful, but the body is impure. Impure in the seeds, impure in appearance, impure in thinking, impure in many, many things. But you're still attached to it. If you tell a youngster not to get relationship with the opposite sex, it's very difficult, because he attaches to it. He can never let go of it, because he already have that latent energy of sexuality in his mind that has been carried forward from previous life. The seeds are there. When the seeds are there, it's being influenced by externalities like mass media, like social norm. They all been affected. And this kind of infestation, if I can call it, is like an intoxication. The more you like it, the more you get deeper into it. It's like drinking, alcoholic. So you must learn how to let go. If you tell an alcoholic to let go, it's not easy. The alcoholic already knows that intoxication is no good. So you don't have to throw him all kinds of theories about the demerits, the disadvantages of intoxication, of being an alcoholic. He knows about it already. You don't have to put all the theories in front of him. But it's very difficult for him to get rid of it, because he can't let go. So the first of all is to let go. Training the mind to let go is the first step. Because if you can clearly contemplate the body as impure, you would not be attached to impurities of the mind. You will not be attached to greediness of the mind, ignorance of the mind. So that's contemplations, the 4 contemplations. All right. So learn to focus first. If you can focus, you easily get to contemplation as spotless and pure. That is to combat sexuality, the habits of attaching to the opposite sex, because that is accountable for reincarnation. And then sensation. Our sensation is usually broken down into 3 kinds of sensations: pleasurable sensations, unpleasurable sensations, and neutral sensations. Unpleasurable sensation is certainly a suffering, right? But even pleasurable sensation is suffering if you analyzed it. Because all kinds of temporary happiness will come to an end. So all these require a lot of explanations. You're asking a question that required 3 semesters to go through. So you have to really understand it and try to resolve it. But it's good that now you know. The 4 contemplations really is something that you should know. But remember, anapanasati is always the basic foundation. Let go first. People can let go of their thought. That's the reason why they cling and cannot practice insightful contemplation. Once they can let go, in other words, once they can sit still and start to study, they're on their way to get an A. But they have to sit down and study their courses to get an A.